Hello everybody, as you can see, Christmas is almost upon us, so Elias5891 is busy today doing some window decoration using pastels, whatever. So filling in, it's Timwe with another KTANE module tutorial. As you can already see on the bottom of your screen, today we are covering Recolour Flash, which is basically a remake of Color Flash, but with completely and entirely different rules. You will also have noticed that I already have the semaphore chart in the bottom right corner of the screen, so you can already surmise that this is going to have to do with semaphores. But let's first take a look at the module itself. How do you even tell that it's Recolour Flash and not Color Flash? Well, for that, take a look at the bottom of the screen, where I have intentionally screen captured the module with the word cyan on it. If you know the original Color Flash module, you will know that it does not actually use the color cyan or the word cyan. So if you see the cyan color or the cyan word, then it's Recolour Flash. At the time of recording, Recolour Flash is the only module that uses cyan, but who knows what will happen in the future. So there is going to be an appendix on the Color Flash manual, which will explain how to tell all of the Color Flash modules apart. So feel free to refer to that to find out which modules you're looking at, but in this tutorial we're looking at Recolour Flash, which flashes 8 colors in a row. So let's just take a quick look at these, and we'll notice cyan, green, cyan, red, red, cyan, cyan, red. So the words don't always match the color, but sometimes they do. Take a look at this one and this one. You notice that there was a cyan in cyan and a red in red. It turns out that for this module, that is actually all that we need. So looking at the diagram on the bottom, you will see that I'm using the number 0 to 7. I do this because I am used to having the cardinal directions, north, south, west, east, be even numbers and the diagonal directions be odd numbers. You can renumber the diagram any way that you wish. That is completely and entirely up to you. So let's start. We can see that the cyan, which is in cyan, and the red is in red, are in positions 5 and 7 in the sequence, right? It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5 and 7. So referring to our semaphore chart, so 5 and 7 are of course southwest and northwest. So looking at the semaphore chart, we notice that that is a letter India. So I'm just going to put a letter India here in the middle. Right, now how do we do anything on this module? Well, it turns out that this module has a 5x5 grid of letters in it, which is why I placed these dots here, and I'm placing the I somewhere because we don't know where in the grid we are. And to learn more about how the grid works, let's take a quick look at the manual. So here's the manual, and you will notice that there is a word list, but we're going to ignore that for now. We're going to take a look at this. It tells us that we can move in the grid by pressing either yes or no exactly once during a timer tick. So don't press it twice between timer ticks, because that will do something else. And it says that pressing yes will move us either left or right, depending on whether the last digit of the timer is even or odd. And similarly, no will move us up or down accordingly. Reaching the edge of the grid will wrap you around to the other side. In other words, the grid is toroidal, which is why I was able to place the I somewhere at random, and I placed it in the middle. It doesn't matter where you put it, because the entire grid can be wrapped in any way. Okay, so let's explore the grid and see what letters we can find. Alright, so I'm going to try and move to the right, which means that we're going to press yes on an even digit. So I'm going to press yes on 6, and okay, it was not apparent that I clicked it because there was no interaction punch. But let's see which colors now match their word. 0, 1, 2. Bingo. 0 and 2. So looking at the chart, that is north and east, which is a Juliet. Okay. Now we have an I and a J next to one another. let's move one step further to the right. So I'm going to press yes on an even digit again. And now we have green and green again. So these are in position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 and 4, which is north and south, which is a delta. Okay. Now at this point, let me tell you what we're actually trying to do. The thing is, there is a reason for that word list down there. One of these words that you can see in the word list is going to be somewhere in the grid. In fact, exactly one of them. Now you'll notice that there is a word that starts with J, and it turns out that is in fact the only word that has a J in it. So if we look back at the notepad, you notice that if I go to the right once more, to here, and if this happens to be an X, then that would be quite encouraging, because it means that we might have the word jinx here, in which case we've found the answer already, and we got quite lucky. So let's move to the right by pressing yes on an even digit again. And then let's see where the matches are. 0, 1, 2, 3. I think that was 1 and 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. It is 1 and 3, which in fact is an X-ray. So just to confirm, I'm going to press yes on an even digit again. And now if we get a November, then we got exceedingly lucky. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 7. All right, 6 and 7, that means west and northwest. That is not a November, actually. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is 6 and 7. So we actually got a Oscar, which means that it is not the word jinx. And I got quite unlucky there. I was getting kind of excited to find the word jinx this early. All right. So just to clarify, this is the letter that we actually have, and it's an Oscar. All right. So that means we need to look further. So we are here. Let's move 2 to the right and down, and let's see what's here. So I'm gonna move 1 to the right by pressing on 6, and once again on 8. And then I'm gonna press down, which is no, on an even digit, so on 14, for example. And we should now be here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 and 4. And that is a delta. Now we have two deltas that are diagonal from one another. Let's see if there is a double delta in any of the words. It turns out there isn't. So that is not... so we have a DI here. Let's see if DI, India, contains DI. And ID is nowhere to be found. So let's see if this is India by checking if this is an N. So we're gonna go right and down. So to go right, I press yes on an even, and then I press no on an even. And now let's count. We have 0, 1, 2, 1 and 2. It seems that 1 is a blue, no, 1 is a yellow, and 3 and 2 is a blue. So 1 and 2, of course, is northeast dot east, which, looking at our semaphore chart, means whiskey. So, this is whiskey, which means that we are not looking at the word India. So let's see what words actually contain a whiskey. We have the word word and the word work. Both of those are very similar, but those are the only words that contain a W anywhere. And you can clearly see that you cannot possibly have word going up or going up left or going down right, because it would hit the I. So if anything, it would be going left or right. So let's actually go left and see about that. So pressing yes on an odd digit should put us here in the place that I have selected. And 0 and... okay, I saw a magenta and a magenta. 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 and 3 is north dot southeast. And that is Victor, I think. I'm quickly gonna check that. Yes, it is a Victor. Very good. Okay, so if we have work or word, then it would have to be going to the right, which means that this one here would have to be either a delta or a kilo. So let's go one further to the left and see what we find there. And we have a yellow there and a green there. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 1 and 5. That would be northeast and southwest, which is a Lima. Okay. So clearly it's not word or work either. I'm just quickly checking if any other directions work, but even so from the W going northeast also doesn't work because we crash into the O, which would have to be an R, and we've already checked all the other. Oh, wait a second, we could go down and we could have word going this way. I'm going to check that. So from the lemma, I'm gonna go right twice. So I'm pressing on an even and then on an even again. And then I'm gonna go down one. So if that is an O, then that might be encouraging. So we go down one. Wait for the sequence to finish. I saw a green and a blue there. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 6 and 7, that is an Oscar. Alright, now that is encouraging, because now this, if this is Romeo, then we found our word. And literally it is the word word. Okay, so pressing no on an even should take us down. And 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 and 6. 2 is east and 6 is west. This is indeed a Romeo. So we have found our word, which means that we now need to submit it. So in order to show you how to submit it, I'm just quickly going to bring up the manual again. We have that here. And you may remember that I told you not to press more than once in between timer ticks. The reason for this is because if you press any button more than once, then that is a submit operation. We're going to have to select both the starting and the ending position of the word. So in this case, we are going to submit this position first, where the word starts, and then this position. Now we're currently in this position, which means I want to go up twice. So if I press no on an odd digit, like 55, and then press it again on 57, I should now be on the W. And to submit that, I'm just going to press the button twice. And you may have heard this noise, which is very similar to the noise from word search, which is probably where this module got its inspiration from. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to move up 2, which is quicker than moving down 3. So I'm going to press no twice on an odd number, like this. And we should now be on the D, and I'm going to double click, and the word is solved. The module is solved. Okay, so as you saw in the previous module, it is sometimes possible to find the word relatively quickly by exploring only maybe about half of the grid. So you don't actually have to find all 25 letters, and you can strategize based on the letters that you've already found to see what is the most strategic position to explore next. So I'm gonna try to do this again with another module, and let's dive straight in. So we see a yellow there. 0, 1, 2, 2, and I missed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 2 and 5. So looking at the chart, 2 is east and 5 is southwest, so we're looking at a mic. So I'm gonna put that mic in the middle. Now mic is not a terribly common or a terribly rare letter. There are plenty of words with a mic in them. So I think it makes sense to explore some of the letters around it. So let's just go to the right and press yes on an even digit. And now we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 and 4. I believe that was 3 and 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we have 3 and 4, which is southwest and south, which is a golf. That is here. Okay, so obviously MG is not going to be in any word, nor is GM. But let's go up here, and from here we can see if there are words containing G or M. So let's press no on an odd digit. And there was a cyan. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So 1 and 6, that is the 1. Okay, so 1 and 6 means northeast and west. Northeast and west is a Quebec, so we're gonna put Quebec here, but we notice that there aren't actually any words with Quebec at all. So that is that means that we're not gonna find any words around here. But we could still find words that go sort of diagonally just next to the Quebec. So let's go left here and see if the M and the G can connect with something else. So pressing yes on an odd digit will move me left. And there is a sign there, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was 2 and 6, which is east and west. East and west is a Romeo here. So we're gonna put an R here, and we can see that GR could form a word. There is indeed the word green, and there is no Romeo Golf, so it doesn't go the other way. What about RM? We could have alarm, and there is no MR. Okay, so let's see, let's go up, just to see if it's alarm. So pressing no on an odd digit moves me up. I saw a blue and a magenta there. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 4 and 5, which is south and southwest, so that's an A. So it could be alarm. So in order to check whether it's alarm, we're gonna go up again. Press no on an odd digit. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So 1 and 5. 1 is northeast and 5 is southwest, so that is in fact an L. It seems that we've actually chanced upon the word alarm, so let's just press no on an odd digit. It could still go wrong. So in order to be alpha here, we're looking for 4 and 5. So let's see if 4 and 5 actually match. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 4 and 5 do match. So we've actually found the word alarm pretty quickly, and we're also in the first place already, which means that I can just double click on here to submit the starting position and then just go up one space, which is no on an odd digit. And I pressed it on an even digit accidentally, so I'm gonna press it on an odd digit twice. And I should now actually be here. And now if I double click it, it submits the word alarm. So just for completeness, I'm going to show what happens if you get a strike. If I just submit a random letter here, you will notice that the select sound happens even if I'm on the wrong letter. But now I'm gonna press no on an odd digit and just, move somewhere and then just press twice again. And then you hear the deselect sound from word search and then you get a strike. Now, the grid doesn't change. I can't really show you that because I haven't written out the grid for this one. But the grid doesn't change. You can still explore the grid. You can still reuse the notes that you had to find the word and then solve the module. On another note, let's say that you've selected some letter and then you notice or you realize that this is the wrong letter. The module actually allows you to deselect the first letter that you've selected. If I just double press on the same grid location again, you will have heard the deselect sound without a strike. So you can tell that this is now deselected and you can just go somewhere else and select a different word. Okay folks, this is quite an interesting module. As you've seen, it is often possible to find the word without having to explore the entire grid. In fact, on average, you're only going to be exploring about half of the grid, and often you can find the word even quicker than that if you just explore all of the possibilities where words could be. I think this is a very fun module because at every step you need to think, you need to strategize as to what is the most efficient way to look for words, and that way you can find the word relatively quickly. I enjoy how this module combines the mechanics from semaphore and word search. It even reuses the sounds from both of these modules to highlight that fact. And with that, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the YouTube comments down below or drop me a line on Discord. And until then, don't explode.